What does Born Free need? Well, inevitably, I would say support. But support can come in all sorts of forms. We have projects all over the world, and they need support. We have people all over the world, they need support. We need people who will champion our views. We need people who will support financially the things that we do, whether it's, building beehive fences in Kenya, or an education center for communities, or looking after our hundreds of rescued animals in our sanctuaries. If you share our values, then join our family. The situation is very serious. In terms of climate crisis, the situation is extremely serious, whether it's in the next 7 or 8 years, or if in the next 12 years, as the Secretary General of the United Nations said the other day, we have 12 years to 2035 to kind of sort it, or we're screwed. I mean, to put it bluntly. And there'll be lots of people who want to make the edges of that very fuzzy by going, oh well, yeah, it won't be an end game. It'll be bad, but we'll still do this, this, and this. And those are the sort of kind of soft words of they're the siren words that prevent us from taking, or seduce us into not taking the actions that are necessary. I think it's easy to regard almost everything that we do at an individual level as just a drop in the ocean. The Chinese fable of the two people walking down the beach, and they're discussing things, and scattered across the sand are thousands of stranded starfish, and one of the gentlemen reaches down, picks up a starfish and tosses it back into the water, and then reaches down and tosses another back, and his friend turns to him and says, there are thousands of starfish. What difference does that make? And the first person says, well, it made a difference for this one, and it made a difference for this one. So I think we mustn't let perfection be the enemy of the good. We must deal with the situation as we find it, and deal with it on our terms as best we can. Not to do anything is not an option. I can understand why people, young people in particular, think that they've been handed a poison chalice, that the planet is heading to hell in a handcart, and they have no ability to influence that in a positive way, that they might as well just give up. My dad is buried a mile from here, up in the local churchyard, and his advice was never give up. Never give up, never give in. Always stick to your principles. Do everything that you possibly can. And he was asked, if I had to choose, choose between people and animals. He said, it's not a choice. He said, I'm interested in animals, I'm interested in people, I'm interested in life. And I think if we take that message to heart, and we are interested in and care about people and wildlife, we will find our own way forward as individuals, as families, as communities, schools, villages, towns, cities, countries, as the international community as a whole. And we are seeing some signs of that in terms of the agreements that have been reached about climate change, about biodiversity loss. The thing that's missing from all of that are the resources necessary to implement the kind of decisions that have been taken in a quick time frame, so that we are not having this conversation in 10 years' time, in which case, were you to ask me, is it too late? If we're having this conversation in 10 years' time, the answer is probably yes, it is.